April 2026, farmers will have to pay 20% inheritance tax on agricultural assets worth more than £1 million when they're passed on.
This is going to cause economic stagnation because farms are not going to be willing to invest in their farm to increase its value. Why would you put up a new cubicle shed or a milking parlour or a slurry store if you're going to increase the value of that farm? You're just going to create a bigger problem for your next of kin.
The government promised it would listen and champion British farming, but many now say they feel betrayed after the first Labour budget of a generation that's left farmers wondering what legacy will be left for their families.
So there's many things wrong with the budget. They brought in a measure on inheritance tax that's come in without any notice, and it's massively destabilised the industry. But look, there's many measures in the budget, and actually what they've done is threaten food supply. You've seen the retailers joining with farmers to say this is going to have an inflationary effect, and we're concerned about the future of food supply in this country. And that's why farmers are so determined, so passionate. They're proud of their industry. They're going to be proud today. We do a great thing. We feed the nation, and they want the government to understand that and understand the impact of what they've done.
There have got to be better ways of doing this, and I'm not sure that the government fully understands the implications of the actions that they've taken in this budget. And we may find ourselves where some of these farming farms go, and then what? What do we do about food insecurity then?
Unfortunately, with the new family farm tax that the government has imposed, I may have to say goodbye to all of these girls, as it may not be financially viable for me to carry on farming in the future. This is why on the 19th of November I will be in London with 1,800 other farmers to let our MPs know how important the future of farming is for food security in the UK.
Greetings, folk. We come again to you with an exciting opportunity to minister once again another impromptu. These will be increasing as we are heading towards the end of the world. We are told that the world is going to go through a lot of upheavals, and owing to the budget that the government did recently, and the inheritance tax, the farmers are out on the streets again protesting. But we know what's happening in the world. Our way of life is under attack. Farming is under attack. Independence is under attack. Our liberties, both civil and religious, are under attack, and it's now touching the farmers. So on Tuesday this week, 2 days today is Sunday, Tuesday this week, there is a big massive protest in London, Westminster by Whitehall, and would be remiss to miss this. These are the books that we are going to be collecting. These are the books that we need. Ministry of Healing, everyone needs health, and in here he's talking about total health, spiritual health, physical health, especially even nutrition. And what to eat, how to grow things. And the modern agriculture is wanting. Our farmers are producing the food, and since the 1950s, a lot of research has shown that food has been declining in nutritional value because of how it's been forced to grow. But if farmers know this, these could be solutions to how to farm properly and produce high quality nutritious food. So farmers need to know, straight out of the Bible, Ministry of Healing. And we got this magazine with the 8 laws of health. Our farmers don't know this, and they are using a lot of chemicals, again, because of disease and pest pressure, and also to force grow things. A lot of things that is now being done is synthetics. Our farmers don't know that, and we have never had an opportunity such as this one to go to farmers But most of all, the great controversy, the fulfillment of the book of Revelation, and how they are just on the verge of losing their farmers to the big pharma and all these billionaires who are putting the policies in place, Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030, and that's the reason why. So they see this, and some of them know it and some of them don't, but this is where we come in to bring them to a knowledge of truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. We want free farmers, and we want to farm ourselves. So these books will be crucial to open their eyes. We are here, chapter 35, liberty of conscience threatened. The capacity to think. You saw that during the recent riots. The only people who were being arrested were people who could think for themselves, while at the same vein, terrorists and rapists and gangs, hardened criminals have been released from prisons all across the world. Truth has fallen to the ground and equity does not enter. So it's therefore time for thee, O Lord, for God to work, for they have made void his law. And this is the message for our time. We care not for the consequences. Christ bid us go in his power to preach the three angels' message. The commandment is still go ye therefore. So these are the books that we're going to be collecting, and they are not cheap. We've run out of these books. We've just got a bit of a sample. It's time to give the world the loud cry of the third angel, and please partner with us. These are the only books we have got left. We've got a few minstrel fillings in the shed, but in terms of the great controversy, we got just these boxes and a couple of others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is nothing, and there's another couple there too. And these are emergency again. We don't necessarily use the 1888 version. So today I'm going to be collecting some books. We got a little money, but we could use a lot more. And this running up and down, the way we normally operate is we'll raise something like 7,000, 10,000 pounds by books even, and stock up and fill the shed, and then that would normally last us about 10 weeks, 14 weeks. So we are pleading with you, those who have got the means, to help us do this. The reason why we have not been going out as regularly as we would like to do is, again, because we don't have a lot of books. If we have these would just last less than half a mission. So please partner with us. Today I'm going to be collecting some books. At the very least, we'll be collecting books for this mission on Tuesday. But if the Lord blesses us, then we may be able to collect more so that we can do more. We can do more while we still can. The work is got to intensify and not to slow down. So dig deep, pray for us, pray with us, work with us, and partner with us, and however much that you can afford to spare, especially today, please send it to the Loud Cry account, which is in the video, at the end of the video. And we want to be able to do an effectual work, and we're still praying that we gain a victory over sin, and we go in the panoply of heaven, fair as the moon, bright as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners. We'll go into the world conquering and to conquer. The system that we are against is a Goliath system, but typically we are the David, and we know which side wins. We know which side God is on. So we need quite a lot. Like I said, we need books for this mission today, this week on Tuesday. What we need is more than that. We need books to continue the mission on a weekly basis at the very least. Must I say this? But we never actually wait for these missions, so we always carry a stash of books in the vehicle, and everywhere we go, we are giving out books. In the car park, in businesses that with people we interact with, everyone who comes to our house. So we don't wait for an event to do this, but it's such events as this protest, the farmers' protest, which affects everyone who's got a belly, and Remember, the mark of the beast crisis is about food, buying and selling. And for want of clothing and food, many will receive the mark of the beast crisis. I mean, it would need to receive the mark of the beast, and that's exactly what's being enacted right now with the war against farming and agriculture and anything independent, and being pushed towards things that are more digital and things that are more oppressive and volatile, and also foods that are not nutritious and things that are not healthy. God wants you to prosper in spirit as you also, in health as you also prosper in your spirit. God has given us the basis for health. This is it. The world needs to know. We have been sitting on this message for more than 100 years. Say since 1888, when the loud cry of the third angel began and was stifled by our disbelief. And Sister White was lamenting the case and saying, I was shown that because due to insubordination, we are going to be here for yet another long time. Can we fail him again? He bids us go. Go ye therefore, come join the work, pray for the work, support the work, fund the work. In the last 4 years, a lot of interesting things have been happening. In fact, for longer than that even. If you check out in the United States of America, Bill Gates now owns, some would say, up to 60% of the land. I don't care about the actual percentage, but the amount of land that he owns, and the fact that he is not intending on agriculture, but rather to fight against it. Where do we get food from? And it's time that we stand up and be counted. So again, Bill Gates still owns cricket powder factories, or house cricket factories where cricket powder is being manufactured for your consumption, all under the guise of climate change. This is where we are. So in the last 2 years, we observed how they decimated the farmers' agriculture in Holland, in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands represent the second largest exporter of food commodities. And they've lost 3,300 estates. And again, incidentally, the two largest producers of cereal in Europe, you may have guessed it, that's Russia and Ukraine. They are at war, which means agriculture is suffering. It's under attack. Now, according to the new budget, anyone who owns a piece of land in England, agricultural land, which is more than 1 million, will have to be hit by the new inheritance tax. Who can afford to pay 400,000 in inheritance tax? In farming business is commodities, and it's not as profitable as you might think it is. If you doubt me, just go to your grocery shop and see how lowly the produce is sold. And most of the pricing is controlled by the big supermarkets, the giants like Asda or Walmart. They set the price for the farmers. So as much as they are doing a big farming, they don't make a killing out of it, because the selling is very low, unless if they're doing any value addition. So it's come to England. As of this year's budget, there is a good chance that the next generation of farmers may not be able to afford it. But this is planned. This is all part of the New World Order. There is a message there for us who know Adventists. It's time to do country living, to look for a small piece of land and produce our own supplies. Sister White says those mothers and fathers who own a piece of land where they can grow their own supplies and have a comfortable home are kings and queens, and we are seeing this. We saw that during the lockdown, when there was chaos at the French border with Britain, and there was panic about food because the supply chain can only supply us for food for 3 days max. It's a well-oiled machine, but if it breaks down, it will break down badly. and lessons have been learned from the two world wars, especially the Second World War. Britain was at the brink of starvation, rationing, you name it. And these globalists are saying, he who controls the water controls countries, who controls the food controls continents, but he who controls the many can control the whole world. And that's what they are doing. They are dismembering the system bit by bit. So what is this showing? Showing that time is short. We must do the work of He who sent us while it is day, for the night cometh where men can do no work. And what is that night? In the old world, the noonday of the papacy was the midnight of the world. It's called the Dark Ages, and the papacy is rising on it's in the ascendancy. Revelation chapter 13, the wound of the papacy is almost fully healed. That's why Pope Francis was saying the United Nations lacks real teeth. And what do animals use their horns and teeth to do? To butt each other and to bite each other. So these beasts, the world governments, are looking for a bite. The mark of the beast crisis is here. Go ye therefore, come join the work, pray for the work, support the work, fund the work. May God bless you as you dig deep and help us. Godspeed and Maranatha.
The work must not stop. If we indeed have the truth for these last days, it must be carried to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. Then they must now be warned. God's holy law must be vindicated, and held up before them as a mirror. To accomplish this work, means is needed. I know that times are hard, money is not plenty, but the truth must be spread, and money to spread it must be placed in the treasury. Shall we abandon the work? Our message is worldwide, yet many are doing literally nothing. The work must not stop for want of means. More means must be invested in it. Let each one ask himself, has not the Lord entrusted me with means for the advancement of His cause? Let us be honest with the Lord. All the blessings that we enjoy come from Him, and if He has entrusted us with the talent of means, that we may help to do His work, shall we hold back? There should be no delay. The cause of God demands your assistance. We ask you, as the Lord's stewards, to put His means into circulation, to provide facilities by which many will have the opportunity of learning what is truth.